Hey, what's good everybody? It's your boy, Seethruthescript here, back with another video. Today's video kinda piggybacks off the Wiz video I did recently, and that's because I'll be talking about another Pittsburgh native who goes by the name of Jimmy Wopo. Now when it comes to the Pittsburgh rap scene, there's usually only two artists that come to most people's minds, those being Wiz Khalifa and Mac Miller. But in 2014, there was a new rapper on the scene who was eager to make a name for himself by the name of Jimmy Wopo. Jimmy Wopo grew up as a teen in the Hill District area of Pennsylvania. He found himself drawn to the street life and began getting involved in, let's just say, some things he probably shouldn't have been involved in. However, with the street life, you're likely to make enemies, and in Wopo's case, there was another up-and-coming artist in the local rap scene by the name of Stunna 2 Fly, who put out a diss song in 2015 that caught the attention of Jimmy Wopo, which led to Wopo making his own response called Walkin' Bomb. This was one of the songs that started to get Jimmy's name up in the city and had him eager to keep pumping out more music as he noticed the attention he was gaining. In 2015, Jimmy started loading up his SoundCloud with some tracks, but it was in 2016 when Wopo linked up with the Atlanta producer and artist Sunny Digital to release his first official mixtape titled Wapanese. In particular, it was track number 5 titled Elm Street, paired with the music video that really gained Wopo attention outside of the state borders. In 2017, Jimmy Wopo followed up with his project Jordan Kobe, which also helped expand his reach. However, he didn't let up there, because in that same year he released another project titled Back Against the Wall. And with all this buzz on Pittsburgh, of course it reached the ears and eyes of Pittsburgh rap legend Wiz Khalifa. Wopo even featured on Wiz Khalifa's album Rolling Papers 2 on the song Blue Hunnits along with fellow Pittsburgh rapper Hardo. But fast forward to June 18th of 2018, news breaks that rapper XXXTentacion had been shot in Florida just shortly before 4 p.m. While moments later, news sources reported Pittsburgh rapper Jimmy Wopo had been killed in a double drive-by shooting at around 4:22 p.m. So it was a tough day for the hip-hop world as two rising artists had their lives cut short on the same fateful day. Taylor Gang members Chevy Woods and Sledgren both tweeted out on that day Jimmy Wopo died how the Taylor Gang label had just signed Jimmy Wopo sometime before his passing while sending their condolences. And according to Jimmy's attorney, Owen Seaman, pause, he stated he was on the phone with Wopo just 15 minutes before the shooting discussing a contract he was about to sign with Taylor Gang Entertainment. His attorney mentioned that it was for a 27-date tour scheduled for July of 2018. The Pittsburgh Post-Gazette also mentioned that Wopo's close friend and producer Norman Dean were planning on moving out of Pittsburgh to work with the Taylor Gang label in Los Angeles, California before his untimely passing. Now, for those familiar with this channel, we often observe narratives from a different angle than most, using the practice of English gematria to get a different perspective behind the story at hand. Using gematria and date numerology, we see how the dates and the names connect in a way that one couldn't merely just chalk up to pure coincidence, and that's only because of the consistency of the code. And as you'll see here, Jimmy Wopo's death was no doubt by the numbers. However, I gotta give a disclaimer because as this channel grows, it reaches new people who have a lot of questions and don't like to do their own research before coming to their own conclusions and commenting some foolishness. I don't have all the answers. I'm an outsider looking in, observing the mainstream news through a numerical lens. So anyways, let's get into the decode. Starting with his stage name Jimmy Wopo, which equals 139, which is the 34th prime number. Notice his full name, Travon Deshaun Frank Smart, equals 340, and using the rules of numerology, zeros are null, and this all falls in line with the way he died as he was murdered. As you could see, the word murder equals 34 and the reduction cipher. Now, a very interesting part about Wopo's death was the fact that he literally just signed to fellow Pittsburgh native Wiz Khalifa's label, Taylor Gang Entertainment. If you calculate from Wopo's death to what would have been Wiz's 31st birthday, was a span of 83 days. Notice murder in the reverse ordinal equals 83. The date Wopo was killed, June 18th, 2018, written as such, matches with the phrase shooting, ritual sacrifice, and Taylor Gang Entertainment, which all equal 107. Truly, what are the odds that Jimmy Wopo was literally about to get his true shot in the industry through the Taylor Gang imprint when he suddenly passes, coincidentally, 83 days before Wiz Khalifa's upcoming birthday. As we saw in the case of Wiz Khalifa's brother Dorian, dying 6 months and 20 days from his 30th birthday, we can see that Jimmy Wopo died on a date with prime numerology of 62, matching with the words Faustian bargain and sacrifice, as well as Hill District, which is where he died, aka his hometown. Wiz Khalifa gave Wopo a shot on his album that released 3 weeks and 4 days after Jimmy Wopo's death. As we discussed earlier, both Murder and Jimmy Wopo's full name have the 34 in it. Observing that same time span, if you just count it in the span of days, Jimmy Wopo died exactly 25 days before the release of Wiz Khalifa's album, Rolling Papers 2. Technically, Wopo was signed to Wiz just before his death. And isn't it interesting how Cameron Jabril Thomas's artist, Wopo, died in a double shooting, both matching with the number 212 in the ordinal cipher? Notice Travon Smart matches with the words kill and shooting, all equaling 44, another number we see extremely often with rappers dying in shootings. And as mentioned in the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, Jimmy Wopo, or Travon rather, was just gearing up to join Wiz Khalifa on a 27-day tour before sadly dying on a Monday. As you could see, Travon, Monday, and Ritual all equal 27 in the reduction cipher. Another thing that I did notice was that Wopo was reported to be the leader of Pittsburgh's Hill District's Sneaky Gang, or Sneak Gang, which so happens to match his stage name in 3 out of the 4 base ciphers. Lastly, Jimmy Wopo died at the young age of 21, which perfectly matches his stage name initials, holding the value of 21 in the reverse ordinal cipher, another eerie synchronicity between the letters and the numbers. Again, I know some people just can't possibly fathom that any of these numerical connections mean anything, and that's honestly up for you to decide. I'm not here to convince you if that's the case. I'm here to present the information, and you can come to your own conclusion. However, it's important before you start dismissing the information off one video to actually explore the others and observe the numerical patterns and its repetition, and you'd quickly see that there's more to these headlines than what they tell us.